Sam Slade, and I'll be here to walk you through the steps of changing your oil. What you need socket sets, which can be found just about anywhere, any store that sells tools. You might need a wrench or two. That's just an extra thing. The oil that your car requires, the oil filter that is right for your car, the catch pans to catch the oil while you're draining, paper towels, it's going to get messy, jack and jack stands so you can safely get underneath your car to access the oil pan drain plug. Before you can start getting into wrenching on the car, is you have to find the right oil and oil filter for your car. To find the right oil, you can usually look underneath the hood on the engine, on the oil fill cap. It will usually tell you the right weight of oil you will need. Then you need to find the right filter, which can be done at an auto parts store. There are usually books there where you can look up your make and model, and it will tell you the right oil filter that is needed for your car. Now, down to business, down to getting into your car and to doing this job, is you have to locate where the oiled pan drain plug is, which is underneath the car. And if you drive a car, not a truck or anything higher off the ground where you can slide underneath it, you're going to need to jack your car up to get underneath it. Removing the drain plug, you will need the socket. You need to find the right socket to fit on the plug. And remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty to get it off. And you want to make sure that your catch pan is present to collect the oil when it starts draining when you pull the plug out. Now we can start removing the filter. So you need to locate where the filter is, and you also need to figure out where the oil is going to drain when pulling the filter off, and have a catch pan there to catch it. And you can remove the oil filter and catch the oil. When the oil is done draining, there's a couple things that need to be done. You need to put the oil pan drain plug back into place, and then put the new filter on. And putting on the filter, there's a couple things that need to be done. You need to make sure that the gasket from the old filter is not stuck on the engine block, because that would not create a good seal, and it would start leaking oil. So after that, you will need to, I always like to fill the oil filter up with oil so it has some lubrication in it. But on some cars, the oil filter goes in sideways or upside down. In this case, I like to fill it up and then pour the oil out so that it's just not going in there dry. And then I like to take old oil, I like to put it on my finger, and then put it on the gasket of the new filter to create it. This will just create a better seal, so there will be no leakage from the oil filter. Now, when we start filling the engine up with oil, we need to learn how to read the dipstick. So first we need to find the dipstick, which is usually marked in yellow, and it's something that you can pull out. So there's a ring where you can put your finger through to pull it out. That just gives you an idea of what it is to look for it on the engine. And when you pull it out, there's a metal rod that's there. They'll have different things on it, and it's usually hash marks or circles drilled in it that when the oil is filled up, it will cover. So there's usually a fill mark or a low mark, and when you're filling it, you want to make it close to the fill mark or in between. If there's a hatched area, somewhere in the hatched area, be good, but just nowhere on the low side. You want to keep it more on the high side, the fill side. Now we need to start filling the engine with oil, and we can do this. I like to take it slow and pour a little at a time, check the dipstick, and then pour a little more, check the dipstick again. And when you're checking the dipstick, you would want to get your paper towel and wipe it off, and then stick it in and pull it back out to make sure you're getting an accurate reading. And just do this a couple times until it reaches closer to the fill mark on the dipstick. And after you've done that, this is the time where you need to start your engine up and get some heat in the engine. It doesn't have to be to the operating temperature, but the needle should be off the peg on the temperature gauge on your car's gauge cluster. And then shut your car back off and check the oil again and make sure it's still in that range of being full. And if it's on the low side, you need to fill it. Put some more oil in it and then check it again. And now, since you have all this old oil from your car, what do you do with it? Well, it'd be good to recycle it, because recycling oil is not good for the environment. So by recycling it, you can use it it can be used over and over again, and this will help the environment. And usually, all auto parts place like an AutoZone, Advance Auto, O'Reilly's has a recycling place inside their building. So all you need to do is just take the oil to them, and they'll show you where it is, and then just pour your oil in there. So now you know what to do now. It's time for you to get out there and start wrenching.